Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It's your girl, Claudia Jordan. Now, tonight is about being bold and making your mark, and we've got some of the brightest stars doing just that on television, in business, and in social media. Now, my first guest from the hit show, Snowfall on FX, and they're going to give us more insights on their hit series, working on the show before and during the pandemic, and what to expect this season. And later on the show, we're talking to one of the most outspoken comedians and beauty influencers currently out. People cannot stop talking about the hilarious B. Simone. Right now, please welcome Eamon Joseph, Angela Lewis, and D. Ray Davis from the hit show Snowfall. Hello, beautiful Black people. How y'all doing tonight?
What's going on?
What's up? Hey.
Look at all this beautiful melanin on my screen tonight. All my people. We were able to chat a little bit before the show, so I'm excited you all are here and we can chop it up. How's everybody feeling tonight?
Good, man. I'm feeling like almost a real drug dealer. The show's popping, man. We feeling like we really moving something right now. We packaging it up. We selling it. We got haters. We doing fantastic right now. When you got haters, you're doing great. If you ain't did nothing wrong and you got haters already, we doing good. We out here in these Hollywood streets.
D-Ray, have you ever sold drugs before?
What?
Anyways,
don't incriminate yourself, fam. Do not incriminate yourself.
No, hey, in my Jay-Z feeling and emotion, I would say that I wouldn't be as seasoned with the show or as close to the show or as if I hadn't tripped in that situation. And my mother was on drugs. Everyone knows my mother was on crack for a long time, many years. So it's cool to be on a side where I feel like I'm celebrating something, no matter how it looks or how people feel like, oh, they're bringing drugs on the show and they're promoting Black violence. No, what we're doing is we're celebrating the era, and they do it all the time. With any other culture, they celebrate the era, no matter how horrific the background to it is. So we're just saying, hey man, this thing here launched a lot of rappers. This thing here launched some millionaires. This thing taught us how to entrepreneur when we didn't have any outlets. So that's why I'm excited about it.
I like how you flip that, because a lot of times with Black folks, there's more of a pressure on us. Like everything we do is like, oh, that's making Black people look bad, instead of just showing a segment, a part of what we are. That's not all of what we are. That is a segment. And I feel like mainstream white folks, they don't get judged by Honey Boo Boo. Their whole race is not judged by one thing, right?
And this is like a 30,000 foot view of that era as well. You know what I mean? And it's showing it from more than one, just one POV. So the late great John Singleton, he made sure that there was integrity. There's a circle of truth around the type of storytelling that he does, and he always manages to put us in and take our culture and put us as heroes. You know what I mean? It's like we got the Game of Thrones here of this epidemic, you know?
And just because it's not a pretty story doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve to be told. You know, these are human beings. People know people got uncles and aunties and mamas, you know, or it was you. This story needs to be told.
You know what I really like? I like that we have people like Franklin's mom, who you see the character, and because people always say, wasn't you raised better than that? People love to say that about Black kids. If you was raised different, it don't matter how you was raised when you got ambition and you got dreams and you see certain things. So he got a perfectly good mom. Also was broken first. They show the Black love is coming back together. And still the boy's like, yo, I want to get bread. I want more. So it's never just about how you were raised, or because you could be a polite drug dealer, as I was for many years. There was a lot of excuse me's and thank yous, and I appreciate that. That's good business.
I mean,
capitalism comes in a lot of different packages. For real.
Listen, who's to say a drug dealer can't be charming? A lot of ladies can speak to that.
What you talking about? A lot of ladies, them hoes love them. They love them D-boys.
You know what? So this show takes a long, hard look at drugs, addiction, and corruption in LA, amongst other things, in the 1980s. Why does this show resonate so much with audiences today? What do y'all think? Like, what is it that is making everyone love this show?
I think it's, well, you guys want to go first?
No, go ahead, dude.
All right. I think it's the history lesson. I think that we sit and we watch shows all the time about crime history. We watch how something came to be. And I think it's the history lesson that first draws you in as far as the audience is today, because they don't know. There are a lot of people rapping about stuff they never even lived. So this is a chance for you to look at some stuff and feel a certain kind of way about your art and your form, and who knows what it might inspire. I remember when I first saw, I went to the comedy club for the first time and I performed and I did well. And I said, yeah, I really want to do this. And the guy next to me said, "Oh, comedy?" And I said, "No." And I pointed at the guy at the door getting the money. So one thing inspired another. So some kids might watch our show and go get inspired to do something else that's not as dangerous or illegal, but something still daring that they can pull off or become an inventor of their own, be their own CEO. So that's why I think they're drawing in a lot.
And Angela, I want to talk to you about your character. How would you describe your character, Aunt Louie, and her relationship with Jerome, as well as her drug king nephew, Frank?
I preaches.
I love it.
I think Louie is just one of the most driven people or characters, you know, that you could imagine. She came from nothing. She was, you know, abused her entire life and, you know, always told no. And she really fought. She had big dreams, and she's been fighting, you know, every day, every season, you know, to get the life that she's always wanted. And I think
she a boss.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, Eamon, your character, Jerome Saint, and what attracted you to that role? What was it about this role? You're like, I got to do it.
They didn't get my job back. That's what happened.
Yeah, they don't even know the story.
They get my job back. No
What's
shit.
the story? Give me the tea.
Oh, the story.
The story.
Tell the story.
Hey, here go the bottom line. Hey, no matter how many times I tell this story or how I want to tell it, the bottom line is Eamon is a better actor and a better a representation of what Jerome needed to be. Eamon is stronger when it comes to certain decisions, and I see it. I love when I step out. I love when I know I couldn't hit the threes and I'm watching my team win.
But wait, was it your role and then it became Eamon's role?
Well, in John's mind, John wanted a role for me, period. Okay. And he didn't have a lot of steam engines at the time. He didn't have a lot of trains moving. He only had a couple. So he was like, D-Ray been rocking me for so long and I know he can act and I've been promising him. So I auditioned and I got it initially, but it just wasn't, even watching from before, I can joke all day, but I could have never did what he did. And I would never trade the ability to sit still now and learn the silence. I'm in a room closer than anybody can get, other than the extras that are with me. Shout out to them who are working hard just to try to tell the story too. But I could not be in a room and learn the way I'm learning. I'm right on these dudes' shoulders. I'm standing right behind Eamon, watching his eyes and stealing his moves. I'm watching how Louis move her hips. I might a bit of that. You know what I'm saying? This is Hollywood. Might have to move them hips, but I'm saying though. But I love watching them work, and watching them work together as a couple, and it couldn't have worked out any other way.
And Eamon, I've been following your career for a long.
But Claudia, for real, what co-star you get that supports you like that?
Right.
Like a brother that just said what he just said and lives that. You know what I mean? Like lives that. Like D-Ray's my brother supporting me in a role like this from the inception of this. So it's just like a lot of people talk of like, oh, we get along or whatnot, but as professionals and as contentious as people get, actors and whatnot, to have other actors, that's a true collaboration here. That when actors
and that's
come
why
together and really support each other, it's real.
I think that's why a lot of times that's what's overlooked about this show, Claudia, is that as far as the awards go, we don't want the awards really for myself at all. I don't want the awards really for the show, but I want John's story to be clear and clean. And they worked hard to put it together. And when you win a championship, you get a ring. Where's the ring? When you win a championship, you get a ring. We've won championships. This story's been told in so many different lights. And like you said, we bleed this. Like when I do my other interviews, when I'm on stage and I tell this story as a joke, sometimes I always uplift my brothers, and because I know I've gotten roles and opportunities. And I don't mean just opportunities with acting. I mean not being able to get on a plane and then someone let me have their seat so I can get somewhere. So that's what this is. I was able to get up out the seat and not be upset and wait on the next flight. And my brother took off and he gained a lot of miles. And then when I got
Appreciate you, King.
When I landed, we able to tell this story, man. I just wish Hollywood would see. And I don't know if I'm the problem, because I know a lot of Hollywood producers, when they see me in person, it'd be a little different. And I hate talking like this, but it's real. John, when they see me, John's still around, still at aggression. And I don't want that to take away from it. I want people, like, if I'm not in the scene, Eamon will tell you, I'll never want to be a distraction. If I can slip out of scene, he'll tell you I'll walk through. I will slip out so that it can look beautiful.
I like to see this part and to hear this story. And Eamon, I've been following your career. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I've been watching you since Zane's. Okay,
There we go.
since Zane's, when you was getting in with some of my friends on that show.
Get
And I was
naked.
like,
Get
that brother.
naked.
Butt naked.
Butt naked. But listen, but you were
Wait, not naked with a monologue.
butt
Naked.
naked and nailing and so intense, right? So
Balls out. Conversation.
listen, to be so intense and to be on point with the balls out, that's even more of an accomplishment. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
But I'm saying, like, it didn't have to go this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been
Wait,
not.
wait. I'm sorry, Claudia. Real quick, Eamon, is the door closed? The people in the baby, Angela, the door closed. I don't want your family to be mad at me. I'm so sorry. Oh.
It ain't
But
that type of interview. We good.
But even on that show, Eamon, like, you know, some people could say that could hurt you, but you stood out with how intense and how good you're acting. Like, out the gate, it was noticeable that you are a star. And to see, like, I looked at your resume, I looked at all your IMDb's before we did this interview, and just like credit after credit after credit after credit, and then to hear these good things that D-Ray, who's a dear friend of mine for 20 years, is saying about you. Like, you all deserve this, and I love this Black love that I'm seeing right here. Like, other shows need to see this. This is how a series is gonna last.
So go watch. Hey, I love it. I've never watched him naked because it's just not my thing. But
he's really good.
I want all of our fans to go watch all our old mixtapes. Go watch me on Jerry Springer. Go watch me on this movie, a movie I produced behind me. I'm so happy about that, Frankenhood. You don't know what I did to get that movie done, to help get that movie done. Go watch all my old mixtapes, but make sure you buy the album, which is Watch Snowfall. Now that you've heard the mixtapes, thought I couldn't rap before. You done heard the I don't want to say nobody's name. Somebody's freestyle before, but then we got writers now. What's up? What's up?
Hey, is this show? Is it really about Freeway, Rick Ross? Is that the basis of the show?
I always say, you know, Freeway is a good friend of mine. I always say that, listen, Freeway deserves his story to be told from his point of view, you know, about him, produced by him. Freeway is a businessman, as we know, and Freeway deserves to have his story told. You know, this Snowfall story is not that story.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of history with him, and I've had him on some shows, and that brother has amazing stories to tell.
Yeah, you gotta get them out, man. We gotta hear it all, regardless of that. Even if it's it don't have to be a complete success story to heed success. You know, it don't have to be. I don't watch the end of the movies anyway. I don't like when nobody get caught.
You know what? Hey, this show, you know, takes place in the 80s. So what's one thing, before we go to break, what's one thing that you still wish that we had today from the 80s? Angela, let's start with you.
Dang, that word. I wish everybody would say dang.
Dang, okay, dang.
Dang.
I still say dang.
Ray, what about you? What do you miss from the 80s that you wish you still had today?
Me?
Yeah.
I still got everything. What you talking about? I got the TV, I got a carpet, I got everything. I got Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson?
Just that vibe, that Michael Jackson. I'll say the Michael Jackson in the air, the vibe. I wish that you could sing songs next to people and didn't have to say it was a black song or a white song. You knew what it was. I mean, you knew it was, but it's still nobody tripped out about the mixture of the cultures. It's a lot that I miss. I miss teaching Black history in schools. It was required. Now it's not.
Right. Okay. Eamon, how about you?
I'll take the lack of censorship in that time period. That it was okay for us, even if you look at some of the entertainment, the sitcoms, just the news, you know, cycles. Everyone wasn't as, to me, you know, people were able to wear their thoughts on their sleeve a little bit more and not worry about the ramifications of saying things or having different point of views. You know what I mean? I feel like right now we're getting a little claustrophobic in worlds of like social order and worrying about, you know, what too much woke.
Man, they just let Pepe Le Pew go, man.
Pepe Le Pew was out of here, fam.
They let him go because
he was a slimy dude, though.
I mean, he was a rapist.
Slimy dude. But when are we gonna ever, if we never recognize or show any bad people at all in any kind of light. How is somebody gonna make a decision what's a good and a bad person? If all we show is good, I don't want my kids to only see good, and I want them to be opinionated in how they feel about people. They tell you if a little kid is somewhere and he says, make sure you let everybody know who touched you. Like if you're a little kid, like I tell my daughters, I'm like, don't let anybody touch you there. Nobody touch you in certain areas. When they come and tell you who touched them, and they're describing the person, they're not thinking if this person is what gender this person is or what this person. They're thinking of how this person made them feel, and that should be the important thing. But we don't go off that no more. We go off the words, and now a lot of people are hiding behind the strength of just that word, even the N word. A lot of people hiding behind nigga. They hide. They're like, oh, you want me to do this because I'm black? No. That's the problem. That's the number one problem is we can't say just how we feel, like he just said. We can't just say, oh, that person may feel this way because I'm not like that, so I don't feel that way.
And not be judged on it forever. We're not also, you know, in our careers, you mentioned something earlier about did I think that I would be stereotype or typecast or whatnot. We gotta allow people an opportunity to evolve. That's the beauty of a journey. That I once was here and now I'm somewhere else. Mm-hmm. You want to be able to see that, and we got to give our children an opportunity to see that we don't just come in ready-made packages. That you're gonna evolve. You should evolve.
But I think that's what's happening with our society. I think our society is evolving, and in that evolution, we maybe have swung a little far to the opposite extreme. But I think it's important that we do, because if we don't, then along with the freedom of speech that existed in the 80s, you're going to continue the freedom of abuse.
I get it. You're saying one. I love that. You're saying one comes with another. Who has on nice pants right now? I just want to know.
What'd you say?
We're always seeing at the top. Whose pants are legit? Who has on nice pants right now? Because we're only seeing the top of us. I just want to know. Everybody got some nonsense like me? Because I got on some short.
My leg can't get up that high. How about that?
I just want to say.
Listen, I stay only cute from the waist, really from here up. It's trash. How about you, Angela? What you doing from the waist down?
I got on, see.
I may never wear heels again. My ankles just ain't built for it anymore. I walk like a newborn deer if I had to walk in some heels right now.
Oh, man.
All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about, filming the show. You started filming season 4 last year, but you had to stop due to COVID-19, like many other productions. How'd you feel when you found out the show was really on hold? Because at first didn't it seem like, oh, we're going to take a 2-week break and come back, but then it became 6 months. Then how did y'all feel about that? Angela, let's start with you.
And it was scary. I was just relieved that we were coming back. It was always like a holding my breath because we didn't know, 2 weeks, then a month, then 6 months. It's like, are we coming back? Are we coming back? And I was finally, when they said yes, it was like, okay.
Well, D-Ray, what was it like to come back months later and then film on location with the crew on the COVID protocols?
Well, the one day that I work on it, it threw me off a lot because I normally had it set up with my touring, because my touring is a little bit more fruitful than me being on the show, only in financial ways. As far as learning and being on the show and acting, I love it. But I canceled a lot of shows. And then when this canceled at the same time, I was like, yo. So then it's like after a couple robberies, I'm straight.
Robberies?
Robberies.
I'm sorry, camaraderies.
Did you mean nights at the casino? Did you mean nights at the casino, D-Ray?
Man, you crazy. What y'all talking about? What happened? Was it lit? No, it was different and difficult, but I like that if we have to go back and do it again and we have to do it that way, we know how to do it. We'd be more comfortable like anything else. We got back to work. We only stopped again, probably half of a time. We took a little stutter step and right back to work. And it's a huge production. So a lot of people had to work. So shout out to everybody. I'm talking about from the caterer to everybody had to put in work to make sure you were, this is going to sound strange, to make sure you were actually clean the way we should be anyway. Like, we shouldn't be dirty and nasty in no kind of way, not just COVID. Like,
well, now we're realizing how nasty things we were letting slide.
Like some people
there's definitely some new habits that we should hold on to as a society.
Some people washing their hands and still not showering.
You're so stupid.
You know what?
Nasty.
So, Eamon, I want to ask you, how did it feel to step back into the shoes and the shag of your character, Jerome? Like, how did it feel after all that time down?
It was a godsend to come back. We got to realize that we're just the actors. they're making a safe environment for us to be able to play in, right? But before that, like D-Ray was saying, we have a whole entire crew. We have their families. This is a whole economy. You know what I mean? And let's just think about all the people that John Singleton, the late great John Singleton, put in place. You know, we got gaffers and cinematographers and hair and makeup, all heads of department. We have so many people. These are families. So we needed to be able to come back to set. And in order for Sheila to get back, that's her name, Sheila to come back on my head, and for her to be dripping and being, you know, and being able to tell this story, we had to make sure we kept people safe, you know? So it was, I think that part was serious. I think that part was serious to everyone.
Okay, I gotta ask Jerome a question. Has Jerome ever did it in the curl? Have you ever took the curl home and did it?
The curl? You know what? I don't think I role played in the curl.
They kept the curl on?
Nah,
really? Why not?
I don't know. But you know what? Now that y'all say it.
Because Angela kept the, you know, she had to.
Now that y'all say it.
Baby bumps.
Hey man, I'm surprised at you. Like I would think.
I know.
Just,
I've never. Yeah.
You might want to think about.
You got to do it, and you got to drip it when you go in. That way, everything.
No. No girl wants that.
Extra curl juice right before you got to drop that.
You're gonna look down, and it's gonna look like hair.
It's gonna look like you back.
It's gonna look like untainted hair down here.
Okay.
You ain't gonna need no kind of no. You don't need no ointment or nothing. Just
oh my goodness! I know where you're going with this.
You know.
Let me get us out of this. Angela, Angela, where do we pick up with Aunt Louie this season?
Aunt Louie has been in charge, you know, running everything with Franklin gone, and now he's back. And so we just watching Louie and to see how she's gonna handle relinquishing this power.
She a boss.
She ain't giving up no power.
She's scary. She already killed somebody. You seen what she did with her bare hands? She not playing games.
She did with one finger.
Kept her in the water. What you playing games, man? Goodbye to that.
Anyway, what is about this show? What do you think is about this show that keeps the fans and critics tuned in each season? What is it about this show?
Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier. We know the people are fascinated with that life, although they don't want to live it. Rappers want to be actors, actors want to be rappers, comedians want to be rappers. We're always fascinated with another Black people, another stream of income. How many incomes do we have realistically that's legal, that you don't have to kill yourself getting it while at the same time destroying your dreams? So if you could watch somebody live a dream, however crazy it may seem, or how many lives are being ruined at the time, because any job you have, people's lives are going to get ruined as you're going anyway. If you keep moving up, someone's going to not get a job, someone's going to not get a promotion, someone's going to feel some kind of way. And no, it's not killing and murdering for corners or what we got left, but it makes people say, yo, I appreciate the hustle. Let me stay on this. Let me stay on this grind I'm on. I'm getting money like rappers. I'm getting money like Franklin. Like it inspires you to want to just not sell dope, because we know that's impossible now. First of all, it's hard to get, I heard. And
you know what? Let me save you right now before you get yourself into more trouble. Let's take a look at the trailer for Snowfall.
Right. Yes.
I got you back.
You think you have something on me.
Heading out. I want to see Franklin sing in prison.
Don't your ass! Fine!
You can't trust anyone.
Shelf life in my line of work's pretty limited.
Snowfall.
Looks amazing. Yeah, looks shout out once again,
baby.
And you know, definitely not.
What was that? I want to watch it. What was that? What was that trailer? I want to watch that shit. I gotta watch that. I'm geek.
And definitely want to give credit and props to you know, John Singleton, the late John Singleton, friends with all of our friends, and great guy, great creative mind, just amazing what he did, and so many people he put on. So before giving too much away, without giving too much away, what can we expect for the rest of the season? What can you leave us with? Anybody who wants to drop a little
fireworks?
Fireworks. Okay,
it's gonna be crazy.
Crazy.
Like we're getting like the first 3-4 episodes are a setup. Usually with episodic television, you know, 10 episodes. We're about to get in the thick of things, and I promise everyone will be like
10.
It's gonna be crazy.
You're gonna be screaming at the TV.
We have a couple of YouTube comments I want to share with you. Gina says, I've been hooked on the show since the first season. Monica wants to know, D-Ray, are you a street pharmacist? Therese says, I can't wait to watch. So they are very excited in the comments about this season.
So we're excited too, man. It's fun to make, and we get to sit back in and watch it. I made him play it in the club the other day. I made him like literally stop the club, stop the music, stop. And it was dancers and people were stripping. Some strippers was in there. And I said, stop it. We need to run some Snowfall. We watched about a good 10 minutes of it, man. And it wasn't no scene of mine. I wanted my brothers showing you what my brothers do. I was like, fast forward, run this. I love it, man. I love why I'm a fan of the show. I get to sit and watch people work, man, and watch John Singleton come alive, man. And I ain't gonna get funky about it or get emotional about it because we know what's all going on.
Yeah.
You love the game. Y'all love to hear about D-Boys. Y'all love hearing about the lifestyle. No, it's not the most replicable job on earth, but we all came from somewhere, and I'm glad our story being told on Snowfall. Shout out Dave Andron. Dave, don't kill me at F1 season 5.
Well, I want to thank you all.
Otherwise, fuck Snowfall.
That was a spoiler.
Hey, you heard me? Hey, man, all that brotherhood, I get killed, man. Fuck all that.
Right. All this nice talk.
I'll see y'all.
Listen, it was a pleasure getting to know you all a little bit more, and what I take away from this the most is how the love y'all have for each other. I mean, I love to see it. Like, you know, the shows that we've all probably been on projects where you're like, I gotta go to work. But it seems like work is something y'all look forward to because of each other.
Let me tell you something else I'm excited about. One last thing. I'm excited about Angela. I'm excited about Amy because this is a mere stepping stone. They about to blow up. So for one, I'm being nice to them because they're really talented. For two, because I'm gonna need a job later. So take it how you want it.
D-Ray, I will see you on social media with your cryptic messages on my Instagram page. So we're gonna try to clean that up sometimes. I want to thank Eamon Joseph, Angela Lewis, and D-Ray Davis for joining me tonight. Snowfall airs tomorrow at 10 p.m. on FX. We're gonna take a quick break, but when we return, we'll be joined by actress and comedian and businesswoman B. Simone. Make sure you all support Snowfall on FX.
Her pants ain't gonna be nothing either. Ask her to show her pants. B. Simone got
Snowfall Wednesday night.
Got some mesh jogging pants.
Yeah.